The Corsair just got its guns back. They reverted a nerf that the Corsair had. So it's time to update the Corsair video here. I'm going to show you exactly how to customize your Corsair so that you can get max power to weapons, thrusters and shields while keeping your signature as low as possible. This loadout is a solo loadout, so you won't have any turret gunners. But before we dive into this video is sponsored by Beam Eye Tracker. If you don't know what Beam Eye Tracker is, Beam Eye Tracker turns your regular webcam into an head and eye tracker for just $30. Currently, they're running a 20% sale. If your webcam records at least 30 FPS, you can take your Star Citizen experience to the next level with super immersive eye tracking. For example, here I'm in my Gladius. You can see my head is being followed by my webcam, and it can also follow my eyes if I just look around, up and down, left and right. If you want to take advantage of the discount, then check out Beam Eye Tracker. If you buy from their website, you'll be supporting the channel, so thank you very much. Link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. The first components that we want to buy is at Orison here. If you don't know where Orison is located, I'm quickly going to show you. Is at Crusader, and just on Crusader is Orison. Let's quickly head over to Cousin Crow's so that we can go buy our components. We get to Cousin Crow, I'm quickly going to show you. I will have timestamps, so you can just skip forward. You already know how to do this, but sometimes people are new, so I need to show them as well, right? So let's head forward here over to the elevators. Here you can see, if you keep heading forward, you'll eventually find this area right here. This is the elevators to the shuttle station. You can just use this and then say shuttle station. Once here, we're going to take the left shuttle here so that we can head to the Cousin Crow's. It's not quite here yet. You can see there's a timer. We just need to wait a little bit. We just get on it. We have arrived here. Let's head over to Cousin Crow. Just go up the steps here and just follow the blue lines here. It's quite a walk, but eventually you'll find the signage where it will say Cousin Crow, right? So just go forward here and eventually you'll see this set of little steps here. You can see Cousin Crow's. Let's head down. Go forward. Here is the shop. Let's open up the door. Okay, here we go. Go all the way down until we see the terminals here. This is where we can buy our first components. For our coolers, we're going to go with the icebox here. You can either buy just one or two. Some people even think that coolers doesn't do anything, but they do reduce your IR at the very least, so your ship doesn't overheat completely and gets lit up like the sun. So I'm going to buy two of these. I will be turning off one here and there. For my quantum drive, I like to go with the stealth quantum drive. Why do I do this? Well, it reduces my IR even more. It's not as warm as the other quantum drives. You'll see if you exchange this quantum drive with another one, your IR will go up and down. So this is why I go with the stealth one. Plus it will reduce your EM in nav mode if you ever decide to switch. But the Corsair is a very big ship, so stealth is not really the main factor for it. This is just a build where we reduce the signature as much as possible, right? So you can go with this if you want to, or if you want to optimize your speed and fuel usage, then you can also go with the Hemera. This quantum drive is super fast and very efficient with fuel as well. So definitely, if you do not care for stealth that much, then the Hemera is also a very good choice. But I like my bolt. Let's take this one. That's all we need from this shop. We can go customize the missiles. In this case, I'm not going to buy any missiles. I'm a little bit low on funds, but I'll definitely show you what to buy, right? So all that you want to do is head up again, open up the door and just run all the way back the way you came so that we can take a different shuttle station this time around. This is where we can find the Crusader show hall, I believe. The best place to buy our missiles and our missile racks. I'll show you exactly how to get there. But first, let's head over to the shuttle here. Instead of going to the top, we're going to go to the bottom shuttle here again. And then we just missed it. But we want to take this one. We managed to make it. All that we need to do now is head over to that tower right there. We go to the Crusader showroom. Here's the tower. Just make your way up the steps. Eventually, you should see an elevator on your left. if you make it over, right? So just go to the showroom here, and here is the elevators. Choose Crusader showroom. Once here, we can just run forward. Eventually, we should see a terminal. We head over here. You see there's a terminal right in front of us. Just say use. Now for our missile racks, we want to type in 481. You can see here is the missile rack. Just say buy and buy 4 of these, since the Corsair needs 4 of them. Once you've got these, we can just go with the missiles. The missiles, we're going to use Task Force. They are super fast and they do AoE damage, meaning they will hit a lot of components, and they only have a minimum lock-on range of 1000. So you can bring them out quite a bit. If people are trying to run, they get further out than 1k. You can just throw these missiles constantly. You need 32 of these to fill up all the missile slots on your Corsair, but they're quite pricey and I do not have the best amount of money in the PTU at the moment, so I'm not gonna buy them. Now you know what missiles to get. Let's quickly customize the ship before we go get our other components. Just hit F1, go to vehicle, select Grey Corsair, go to propulsion here first. We need to unequip our jump module just to keep it safe, right? So just press save. Now we can go to systems. We can equip our 2 ice boxes that we bought. You can either equip both of them or just one. I like to keep both. And then for our quantum drive, we're going to go with the bolt here or the Hemera, depending on what you bought, right? We can just hit save. Go back to propulsion and remember to equip your jump drive. Hit save again, and if you bought missiles, here you can customize your missiles as well, right? I have 3 missile racks, but you can just swap them out and then you need to equip all the missiles. As you can see, I only have 1 little task force available, but for each slot you will have to equip new missiles. So just keep that in mind. Now that we're done, we can head over to Grimhex. To find Grimhex, we're just gonna hit F2 here, type in Grim, and we can just route to it. Here we go, we're at Grimhex. I'm quickly gonna land, then I'll show you how to find Dampers Depot. Here is the spaceport. Now we can just make our way over to the elevator here. Say use. Then we can just make our way up the steps here. And to our left, you should see more steps. Once we go up it and we look back, you should be able to see the entrance of Dampers Depot. You can see there's the little arrow. Now we can just head inside and buy our components. You should find a terminal right here. So use for the base power plant that we can buy currently. This is this stealth power plant right here, a size 2. We need 2 of these power plants to power the Corsair. Now there is a way to farm the upgrade of this power plant. I already made a video on it. I'll link it in the description so that you can see. It will give you 1 extra power. So if you equip both of them, you'll get 2 extra power, which is kind of nice and really important to keep your signature a little bit lower, since you'll reduce your IR as well. And for our shield, this is the best shield that you can buy. It has the most amount of HP and regeneration. Plus it's a grade A, so best in game at the moment. You only need 1 of this. Now that we have everything, let's quickly customize our ship and then we'll go take a look at where to buy the weapons. So F1, vehicle, Grey Corsair again. Now we can go to systems. For the first power plant, equip your Cyrus and also do it for your second one. And then finally for your shield, the Parapet shield, equip this as well. Now we've got all our systems in place. One more thing that I want you to do, leave your extra guns at Grimhex, because if you want to ever swap out for multi-crew, then you can just quickly equip them, right? Why are we unequipping our extra guns? Well, it will save us some power when playing solo, and we can use that to increase our shots, right? So for the extra guns, you want to unequip all the turret guns here, just like I'm doing here. So if it says turret underneath, just unequip them and leave them at Grimhex, since it will be quite easy to go pick them up if you ever wanted to play with somebody. If you wanted to, you can also leave your main guns here, since we're going to switch them out in a minute. So you can leave all of your guns here if you want to. This is what I'm going to do. Now you can just hit save. Now we can just hit save. For my weapons, I'm going to go the PvE route. So I'm going to go with attritions. In order to buy that, we need to head over to Lorville. Go to Lorville. We're just going to open up our map here. by hitting F2, type in Lorville, and we should be able to go to Hurston and then to Lorville. To buy our weapons, we need to head over to the business district. All that you need to do here is go to the spaceport. You can see here's the terminals. Just go forward. Eventually, you'll find this area. You can either go right or forward, but all that you need to do is go forward here, right? And then get on the train. Hopefully we make it. No, we don't. We're gonna have to wait. We have arrived. Let's make our way over to those statues. Once here, we can go all the way up steps. Eventually, you should find this room. Here is the main statue. We're just gonna go right here so that we can buy our weapons. You can see showcase room. We can go inside here. Here you can see all of the attrition weapons. These weapons are super good for damage, but they don't have the best projectile speed. That's why they're mostly getting used for PvE. But let's buy a couple. You can see here my money. I do not have the most, but we'll see if we can buy everything. So we need 4 of the size 4 attritions here. And then we need 2 of the size 5 attritions. Let's buy this. And I have 7,000 left. I actually prepared for this by selling my max lift on my back since I didn't have enough money. But now we can equip our weapons. Let's go to your Drake Corsair again here. Vehicle weapons. Here is the size 5 weapons. Just equip both of them. And then head over to the size 4s and equip all of it. Hopefully I can make my money back with the Corsair. But just hit save. Now I'm going to show you how to manage all of your power. I forgot to include for the weapons. If you wanted to be a little bit more PvP orientated, the best thing to do would be to equip CF repeaters. You can buy that at New Babbage. It's Center Mass, I believe. So that's where you can buy all of them. But let me quickly show you how to manage that power again. For our power management, you need to head over here to check out your power. Now there's a couple of things you want to turn off, right? For example, life support, coolers you want to turn off 1. But if you're going to take all the cooling away, you'll see eventually our IR will start to increase, right? So cooling does matter. So make sure you've got at least 1 pip in there so it doesn't get too big. IR missiles will destroy you. If this is too big, right, you will have a difficult time flaring them off. Our EM is about 11, which will make it a little bit easier to flare off missiles. Our cross section, super good, of course, because it is the Corsair. But if you point your nose towards something, the cross section will reduce a little bit, right? But here is my basic setup. You can see full weapons so that we get the most amount of shots. Our thrusters, we can improve this by looting components. I do have a video on it, like I mentioned before. We can definitely fill this out because we will get 2 power from looting those 2 components from regular ships, right? So very decent. And then our shields, all the way, our shield regen will be very fast, so very nice. And then we've got our little bit of cooling here so it doesn't get too big. Now let's go do a bounty hunting mission to see how she performs with her new weapons and loadout. For our bounty hunting contract here, I'm going to do a VHRT. It's a little bit buggy so you can't really see, but you can see the amount, right? I haven't unlocked ERTs yet on the PTU, but we'll see what we can do here. Seems like we've got a couple of targets here. We've got a C2, Caterpillar, and a Reclaimer. This is on Daymar, so it's a little bit difficult in atmosphere, but we'll see if we can drag them out. I'm first going to go for the Reclaimer here. It might be easier to deal with. Just keeping an eye on my radar. So when it turns red, I know that the Reclaimer is after me. There we go. Radar turned red. Now, we just wait for it to come towards us. Was about 10k's out where the Reclaimer started to aggro. So this is basically how you get them to aggro. Just wait for 10k's. Should be pretty easy if we manage to stay on the belly here. I'll start peppering them as they come into nav mode so that we can do damage. Just gonna sit on the back side here. See if we can get underneath them. Just pepper them with bullets. Here we go, perfect position now. There we go, we've got our target. Just gonna mark it with Alt 1 so we don't lose it. But before we do the caterpillar and the other one, let's give it a scan. Seems like they don't have much, so we don't have to worry about this one. Could take a look at that other ships, caterpillar and a C2. Seems like the C2 is a little bit closer than the caterpillar. We'll try to drag out the C2 first. Just keeping an eye on my radar again. When it lights up, you'll know that it aggroed. There we go. It turned red. Now I'm just going to slowly but surely reverse while I wait for it to come towards me. Here we go. I'm going to pepper it so long as it comes into nav mode. Do some damage before the seals come up. But luckily for us, C2s are not the most difficult. Just gonna sit on the belly here for a minute. And we should be able to deal with them quite easily. Standing still now for some reason. No idea why. Oh, it's lag. Here we go, nice and flat. And there we have the C2. Hopefully it doesn't fall to the ground. I do need some money though. Let's give it a scan. So this C2 has about 11 quantanium. So pretty decent. About 500,000 right there. Alter toxin, some medical supplies, and that's about it. Let's see if we can defeat that caterpillar. Should aggro soon, about 9 something. There we go, it aggroed. Let's go to the other ships so that we can drag it out into space. Our caterpillar is super dangerous, got a lot of turrets, and turrets is no joke with NPCs on them at the moment. But we can get a little bit of damage on it while it's coming in. Let's see if I can get a good amount of damage on this thing before our seals get downed. Already red body. And there we go. Might have overdone it just a little bit, but the attrition's really good for PvE. Let's see what the caterpillar has for us. So for the cargo, we don't get much. Get like 1 quantanium, 1 alter toxin, and that's about it. Not a lot, so only the C2 is worth looting really. Hope you enjoyed this loadout guide. Don't forget to check out Beam Eye Tracker in the description below. They have a 20% discount going at the moment where you can turn your webcam into a head and eye tracker. Also a big thank you to my YouTube members. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video.